The fighting stopped suddenly. Both fleets pulled back from each other, but their weapons were still ready. It was like two angry animals watching each other, waiting to see who would move first. Temporary ceasefire in effect, Commander Park announced over the ship's communication system. All fighters return to base. Damage control teams begin repairs immediately. Minho looked out the window at the Velkin ships. They were beautiful in a strange way. Their hulls were silver and curved like the bodies of sea creatures. Very different from the square, practical human ships. My father wants to meet in 1 hour, Nara said. She had been talking to the Velkin flagship on a private channel, on a neutral shuttle between the two fleets. Just you and me? Minho asked. Yes. He says if humans can really show mercy, then one human should be brave enough to meet one Velkin in the middle of space. It could still be a trap, Yuna said. She was checking Nara's injuries one more time. What if he just wants to capture Minho? Then the ceasefire ends and the battle starts again, Nara said. But maybe more people die. Commander Park walked over to them. Lee, you do not have to do this. I can send a professional diplomat instead. No, Minho said, it has to be me. I am the one who found Nara. I am the one who chose to help her. Her father needs to see that ordinary humans can make good choices. What will you say to him? Park asked. NHO thought about this. I will tell him the truth. That I helped his daughter because it was the right thing to do. That humans and Velkins both want the same things, safety, peace, and a future for their children. An hour later, Minho and Nara sat in a small shuttle flying between the two fleets. Neither of them spoke much. They were both nervous about what would happen. Are you afraid? Nara asked finally. Yes, Minho said honestly, but I am more afraid of what happens if we fail. My father is a good person, Nara said. But he has lost many friends in this war. It has made him hard and angry. The war has made everyone hard and angry, Minho said. Maybe it is time for some softness. The Velkin flagship was huge. It was 3 times bigger than any human ship. As their shuttle approached, Minho could see Velkin fighters watching them carefully. They docked with the flagship. 2 Velkin soldiers met them at the airlock. They were tall and pale, with the same dark hair as Nara. They looked at Minho with suspicion but did not threaten him. The soldiers led them through the ship's corridors. Everything was different from human ships. The walls were smooth and curved. The lights were softer. It felt more like being inside a living creature than a machine. They reached a large room with windows looking out at space. Fleet Commander Cole Kim was waiting for them. He was older than Minho had expected, with gray in his dark hair and lines around his eyes. He looked tired and sad. When he saw Nara, his face changed completely. The hardness disappeared. He looked like a father who had just seen his dead child come back to life. Nara, he said in the human language. His accent was thick, but his words were clear. Father, Nara said. She ran to him and they hugged tightly. Both of them had tears in their eyes. The fleet commander looked at Minho over Nara's shoulder. You are the human who saved my daughter. Yes, sir, Minho said. My name is Minho Lee. Why? The commander asked. Why did you help her? She was your enemy. She was hungry and hurt, Minho said simply. That was more important than the war. The commander let go of Nara and walked closer to Minho. He was much taller and looked very intimidating. My daughter could have killed you. She could have stolen your ship's secrets and escaped. Yes, sir, she could have, but she did not. No. Sir, she chose to trust me instead. Commander was quiet for a long moment. He walked to the window and looked out at the human fleet. 3 years ago, you built a mining station on our sacred planet. When we asked you to move it, your leaders refused. I know about that now, Minho said. Most humans did not know the planet was sacred to your people. If we had known, many of us would have demanded a different solution. Would you? Or are you just saying what I want to hear? Minho thought carefully before answering. I cannot speak for all humans, but I can speak for myself. Sacred places should be protected, families should be safe. No one should have to watch. Their children die because of misunderstandings. The commander turned back to him. You speak like someone who has lost people in this war. We all have lost people, Minho said. Humans and Velkans. That is why it needs to end. And you think it can end? You think our species can live in peace? Minho looked at Nara. She was watching him with hope in her eyes. Your daughter and I became friends even though we were supposed to be enemies. If we can do it, maybe our people can do it too. The commander noticed the way Minho looked at Nara. You care about my daughter. Yes, sir, very much. More than just friendship? Minho felt his face get warm. Yes, sir. The commander looked at Nara. And you? How do you feel about this human? I love him, father, Nara said without hesitation. He showed me that enemies can become friends. That hate can become understanding. That love can cross any barrier. The commander was quiet for a very long time. He walked around the room, thinking. Finally, he spoke. If I agree to peace talks, there will be Velkans who call me a traitor. There will be humans who call you traitors too. Are you prepared for that? Yes, Minho and Nara said together. And if peace comes, what will you do? You cannot serve in the military anymore. Neither side will trust you completely. We will find another way to serve, Nara said. Maybe we can help other people understand each other. Maybe we can make sure this kind of war never happens again. The commander nodded slowly. Very well, I will contact your Commander Park. We will begin peace negotiations immediately. Just like that? Minho asked. My daughter is alive because a human chose compassion over duty, the commander said. If humans can be that wise, then maybe Velkans can be wise too. 6 months later, Minho and Nara stood on the observation deck of Deep Space Station Unity. It was a new station built jointly by humans and Velkans. Ships from both species docked there to trade goods and share information. The peace talks had been difficult. Some people on both sides wanted to keep fighting. But slowly, agreements were reached. Trade routes were shared. Sacred sites were protected. Families could be safe. Minho now worked as a cultural liaison, helping humans and Velkans understand each other. Nara did the same work. They had both been discharged from their militaries, but they had found something better, a chance to build peace instead of fighting wars. Do you ever regret it? Nara asked. She was watching a human cargo ship dock next to a Velkan passenger vessel. Giving up your old life for this? Never, Minho said. He took her hand. Do you? Never, she said. Though I sometimes wonder what would have happened if you had followed orders that night. If you had called security instead of helping me, we would still be fighting, Minho said. And we never would have found each other. Found each other. Nara repeated. I like that. It sounds like we were always meant to meet. Maybe we were, Minho said. That evening they had a small ceremony in the station's garden. It was an engagement ceremony that followed both human and Velkan traditions. Their friends from both species were there, even Commander Park and Fleet. Commander Kim attended. As they exchanged rings and spoke their vows, Minho thought about how much had changed. A year ago, he had been a simple supply officer in a war he did not understand. Now he was engaged to someone from another species, helping to build peace between two worlds. Do you think our children will understand what we went through? Nara asked him quietly during the ceremony. I hope they never have to, Minho said. I hope they grow up in a universe where humans and Velkans are just neighbors and friends. That is a good dream, Nara said. It is not just a dream anymore, Minho said, looking around at all their friends, human and Velkan together. It is becoming real. As the ceremony ended and their friends celebrated around them, Minho and Nara looked out through the garden's windows at the stars. Somewhere out there, human and Velkan ships were traveling together, exploring new worlds side by side. Their love had started with a simple act of kindness. Now it had become something bigger, a symbol of hope and proof that understanding could overcome fear. The war was over. The future was beginning, and love had shown them the way. 10 minutes passed after they sent the message. The battle was getting worse. Through the small window in the supply office, Minho could see explosions in space. Human and Vulcan ships were fighting and dying. Maybe the message did not reach him, Yuna said. She was watching the computer screen for any reply. Or maybe he thinks it is a trick, Nara said quietly. Humans could have forced me to make that recording. Another explosion shook their ship. The lights went out for a moment, and then came back on. Someone was shouting in the hallway about damaged engines. We have to do more, Minho said. The message is not enough. What else can we do? Yuna asked. Before anyone could answer, heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway. Commander Park's voice was getting closer. He was talking to other officers about the battle. Hide, Minho whispered to Nara. No, Nara said. I am tired of hiding. If we are going to save lives, we need to take bigger risks. The door opened. Commander Park walked in with two other officers. They all stopped when they saw Minho, Yuna, and Nara. What are you doing here? Park asked Minho. Then he saw Nara. His eyes went wide. Who is this? Sir, Minho said, standing up straight. This is Nara Kim. She is a Vulcan soldier, and she might be the key to ending this battle. Park's hand moved to his weapon. Step away from the enemy, Lee, both of you. She is not our enemy, Yuna said. She has been helping us understand why this war started. I do not care why it started. Park said, I care about winning it. Security, arrest all three of them. Wait, Nara said. She stood up slowly, her hands visible. Commander Park, I am the daughter of Fleet Commander Cole Kim. My father is leading the attack on your ships. Park stopped. Prove it. I just sent him a message using family codes that only we know. If you check your communication logs, you will see the transmission on the medical emergency channel. Park looked at one of his officers. Check it. The officer used his tablet to access the ship's communication system. There is a transmission, sir. Sent 12 minutes ago on the medical channel. It is in Vulcan language. Translate it, Park ordered. I will translate, Nara said. I told my father that I am alive and safe. I told him that humans saved my life when they could have killed me. I asked him to stop the attack and talk about peace instead. Park stared at her. And you think he will listen? I do not know, Nara said honestly. But he thinks I am dead. My death is part of why he wants to destroy your fleet. If he knows I am alive, maybe he will consider other options. The ship shook again. Through the window they could see a Vulcan fighter explode near their ship. Pieces of metal bounced off their shields. Sir, the other officer said, we are taking heavy damage. The Vulcans are fighting like they have nothing to lose. Because they do not, Nara said. This is a suicide mission. They came here to die. Fighting. They will not stop until every ship is destroyed. Park was quiet for a moment. He was thinking hard. How do I know this is not a trap? How do I know you are not lying about everything? Because I could have escaped days ago, Nara said. Minho gave me chances to leave. But I stayed because I started to believe that peace might be possible. She saved my life, Minho said. When security was searching for her, she could have let them find me. But she helped me hide the truth. And I have been treating her injuries, Yuna added. She has scars from old battles. She has lost family members to this war. She wants it to end as much as we do. Park looked at all three of them. You have been hiding an enemy soldier for days. That is treason. Yes, sir, Minho said, but it was the right thing to do. The right thing to do is follow orders, Park said. Sometimes orders are wrong, Nara said quietly. Sometimes people have to choose between following rules and doing what is right. A new alarm started ringing. This one was different from the battle alarms. It was the evacuation signal. Sir, an officer said into his radio. The engine room is badly damaged. We are losing power. Captain says we have maybe 20 minutes before we have to abandon ship. Park's face went pale. How many ships have we lost? 30% of the fleet, sir. The Vulcans are not holding back. They are ramming our ships when they're weapons. Run out. My father is a good commander, Nara said. But he is also a grieving father. He thinks humans killed his daughter. He will not stop until he gets revenge. Unless he knows you are alive, Minho said. Park looked at Nara. If I let you contact your father directly, what would you tell him? That the war started because of misunderstanding. That humans are not evil monsters. That peace is possible if both sides are willing to try. And you think that will work? I think it is our only chance, Nara said. Park was quiet for a long moment. Outside, the battle continued. More ships exploded. More people died. Sir, Minho said, we are going to lose this battle. Everyone knows it. But maybe we can save some lives. Maybe we can end this war instead of just fighting another battle. If this fails, we all die, Park said. If we do nothing, we all die anyway, Yuna said. Park made his decision. Computer, open a direct channel to the Velkin flagship. Full power transmission, the computer responded. Channel open. Warning, this will reveal our location to enemy weapons. Do it, Park said. The speakers crackled. Then a deep voice spoke in the Velkin language. Nara translated. He is asking who dares to contact him during battle. Park handed Nara the microphone. Talk to your father. Make him listen. Nara took the microphone with shaking hands. She spoke in Velkin, her voice strong and clear. She talked for several minutes. Sometimes her voice broke with emotion. Sometimes she sounded angry. Sometimes she sounded hopeful, the Velkin commander responded. His voice sounded shocked, then angry, then confused. What is he saying? Park asked. He cannot believe I am alive. Nara said, he thinks this is a human trick. He says humans would never keep prisoners alive. Tell him about us, Minho said. Tell him what we did for you, Nara spoke again. She pointed at Minho and Yuna as she talked. She spoke about kindness. And friendship and hope. The reply from her father was longer this time. When it ended, Nara had tears in her eyes. He says he will stop the attack, she said. But only if I can prove that humans can be trusted. He wants to see that peace is possible. How can we prove that? Park asked. Nara looked at Minho. He wants to meet the human who saved my life. He wants to see if humans can really show mercy to their enemies. Everyone looked at Minho. The battle was still raging outside. Ships were still exploding. People were still dying. I will do it, Minho said. If it can end this war, I will meet with him. It could be a trap, Park warned. Everything we have done could be a trap, Minho said. But sometimes you have to choose to trust people. Nara smiled at him. It was the first real smile he had seen from her. Thank you, she said, for everything. Minho realized something as he looked at her. He was not just doing this to end the war anymore. He was doing it because he cared about Nara. He was doing it because he thought they might have a future together. They survived the next few hours. Minho stared at Nara in shock. You are the fleet commander's daughter? Why didn't you tell me before? Because I was afraid, Nara said. If humans knew who I was, they would use me as a weapon against my father. They would make him surrender to save my life. But that could end the war, Yuna said. She had just arrived in the storage room after hearing the battle alarms. Not the right way, Nara said. My father would hate humans even more. The peace would not last. More wars would come later. The ship shook again. Through the walls, they could hear Captain Park giving orders over the communication system. All fighters to launch positions. Prepare main weapons. Enemy fleet approaching fast. Minho sat down heavily on a box. So you are one of the most important Velkins in the galaxy. And I have been giving you soup and bandages. You saved my life, Nara said. That is more important than who my father is. What happened to you? Yuna asked. How did the fleet commander's daughter end up alone in space? Nara's face became sad. I was leading a scouting mission. We were trying to find the best way to attack your main fleet. But human fighters found us first. They destroyed my ship and killed my team. Your father thinks you are dead, Minho said, understanding. Double quote. Yes, I was supposed to return 5 days ago. When I did not come back, they assumed the worst. Nara looked out the small window at the stars. My death is one reason my father decided to make this final attack. He wants revenge for losing his daughter. But you are not dead, Yuna said. You are right here. I know that. You know that. But my father does not know that, Nara said. He is coming here to die fighting the people who killed his child. The ship shook more violently. Red lights flashed in the hallway. They could hear the sound of weapons charging and fighters launching from the hangar bays. We have to tell someone, Minho said. If your father knew you were alive, maybe he would stop the attack. Who would believe us? Nara asked. Who would trust a human who has been hiding an enemy soldier? Commander Park, Yuna said. He is a good man. He cares more about saving lives than following rules. Even if he believed us, how could we contact the Velkin fleet? Minho asked. They are not going to answer calls from human ships during a battle. Nara was quiet for a moment, then she said, There is a way. Every Velkin ship has an emergency family channel. It is used to send final messages before death. My father would answer that channel even during battle. What kind of message? Yuna asked. A coded transmission that proves I am alive? Only family members know the codes. Nara looked at both of them. But we would need access to the ship's communication system, and someone would have to authorize the transmission. Commander Park, Minho said. We have to convince him to help us. Are you crazy? Yuna said, If we tell him about Nara, he will arrest all of us. You for treason, me for helping, and Nara for being a spy. Maybe, Minho said. But if we do nothing, thousands of people will die today, both humans and Velkins. The ship's weapons fired for the first time. The sound was like thunder. Through the small window, they could see bright flashes of light in the darkness of space. The battle had begun. We are out of time. Nara said, Every minute we wait, more people die. Minho stood up. Then we do it. We go to Commander Park and tell him everything. Wait, Yuna said. What if there is another way? What if we could send the message without telling anyone about Nara? How? Minho asked. You work in supply management. You have access to communication systems for ordering materials. Could you send a message through those channels? Minho thought about it. Maybe, but those systems are not powerful enough to reach another fleet during battle. Too much interference from weapons and shields. What? About the emergency medical channel? Yuna said. Doctors use it to contact other ships during battles, to arrange prisoner exchanges and medical aid. That could work, Minho said, but we would still need authorization codes. I know where to get them, Yuna said. Dr. Chen keeps his codes in his office computer. I could get them while he is busy with battle preparations. This is getting very complicated, Nara said, and very dangerous for both of you. Everything we have done has been dangerous, Minho said. This is just a little more dangerous. Another explosion shook the ship. The lights flickered. In the distance, they could hear someone shouting orders about damaged shields. The battle is getting worse, Nara said. We have to decide now. Minho looked at Yuna. Are you sure you want to do this? If we get caught, they will say we are traitors. People are dying out there, Yuna said. If we can save some of them, we have to try. What about you? Minho asked Nara. If this plan works, you will have to reveal yourself. Everyone will know you are here. I know, Nara said. But maybe it is time to stop hiding. Maybe it is time to choose hope over fear. Minho felt something warm in his chest when she said that. For the first time since this war started, he felt like they could actually make a difference. Okay, he said, here is the plan. Yuna gets the authorization. Codes. I access the communication system. Nara records the message to her father. What will I say? Nara asked. Tell him you are alive. Tell him humans saved your life. Tell him there might be another way to end this war. And if he does not believe me? Then we tried, Minho said. At least we tried? They left the storage room together. The hallways were full of running soldiers and flashing lights. No one paid attention to three people hurrying through the chaos. Yuna went to the medical bay to get the codes. Minho and Nara went to the supply office. The room was empty because everyone was at battle stations. Minho started working on the computer. His hands were shaking, but he managed to access the communication system. I am in, he said. But we only have a few minutes before someone notices. The codes, Yuna said, running into the room. I got them. Minho entered the codes. The computer accepted them. Now they were connected to the emergency medical channel. Your turn, Minho said to Nara. Nara sat down at the microphone. She took a deep breath. Then she began speaking in the Velkin language. Her voice was strong and clear. Even though Minho could see tears in her eyes, she spoke for 2 minutes. When she finished, she said, It is done. I told him who I am. I told him I am safe. I told him to stop the attack and talk instead of fight. Will he believe you? Yuna asked. I do not know, Nara said. But I used words only he and I know. Words from when I was a child. If he hears them, he will know it. It's really me. They sent the message. Then they waited. Outside, the battle continued. Ships exploded. People died. But maybe, just maybe, they had given peace a chance. What happens now? Minho asked. Now we find out if love is stronger than hate, Nara said. We find out if a father's love for his daughter can end a war. Minho looked at her. In the middle of all this chaos and danger, he realized something important. He cared about Nara, not just as a person who needed help, but as someone special. Someone he might be falling in love with, but there was no time to think about that now. They had to wait and see if their desperate plan would work. The security guards were right outside the storage room. Minho could hear their voices through the thin door. His heart was beating so fast he was sure everyone could hear it. Quick, he whispered to Nara, get in that box. Nara looked at the large metal container in the corner. It was full of old ship parts and broken equipment. There is no room. Make room, Minho said. He started pulling out pieces of metal and wire. Hurry, Nara helped him. Her hands moved fast despite her injuries. They threw the equipment behind other boxes. The metal made noise as it hit the floor. Someone is in there, a guard said outside. I heard something. Get in, Minho whispered. Now, Nara climbed into the box. Minho threw the old blanket over her and piled some small parts on top. It was not perfect, but it would have to work. The door opened. 2 security guards came in with flashlights and scanners. They wore black uniforms and carried energy weapons. What are you doing here, Lee? The first guard asked. His name was Officer Han. Minho knew him from the dining hall. Checking inventory, Minho said. He tried to sound calm. Some equipment is missing from the reports? At this hour? The second guard asked. She was younger and seemed suspicious. I could not sleep, Minho said. The war makes me nervous. I thought I would do some work. Officer Han nodded. We all feel that way. But we detected strange energy readings near here. Have you seen anything unusual? No, Minho said. Just old junk and broken machines. The guards moved around the room with their scanners. The devices made soft beeping sounds as they checked each box and corner. Minho watched them get closer. To Nara's hiding place. This box is warm, the young guard said. She was standing right next to Nara. Old power cells, Minho said quickly. They still hold some energy even when broken. That is probably what your sensors detected. The guard looked at her scanner. Maybe, but I should check inside to be sure. Be careful, Minho said. Some of those power cells leak acid. It can burn your skin. The guard stopped. She looked at Officer Han. Should we call a tech team? For old power cells? Han shook his head. Lee knows this stuff better than we do. If he says it is safe, it is safe. Minho almost sighed with relief, but he kept his face calm. I will file a proper report about the energy readings. Someone should move those old cells to a safer place. Good idea, Officer Han said. Come on, Yuki, let's check the next room. The guards left. Minho waited until their footsteps faded away. Then he helped Nara out of the box. She was shaking, but not from fear. She was angry. You lied to them, she said. You could have told them about me. You could have saved yourself. I told you I would protect you, Minho said. I meant it. But why? I am your enemy. Your people would call you a traitor. My people do not know you like I do, Minho said. They see you as a monster, but you are just a person who lost her family. Just like many humans have lost their families. Nara sat down on the floor. She looked tired and confused. I do not understand humans. In my culture, we fight our enemies. We do not help them. Maybe that is why the war continues, Minho said. Maybe both sides need to learn something new. Over the next few days, Minho continued to visit Nara. He brought her better food and clean clothes. He also brought her something else, books and videos about human culture. Nara was curious about everything. Your music is strange, she said one day. She was watching a video on Minho's tablet. It has no rhythm patterns like Velkin songs. What do Velkin songs sound like? Minho asked. Nara hummed softly. The melody was beautiful but sad. It sounded like wind through trees or water over stones. That is a song about my home planet. About the forests and the silver lakes. It is beautiful, Minho said. I would like to hear more. Maybe someday, Nara said. If we both survive this war. Minho started bringing his friend Yuna with him sometimes. Yuna was a medic who worked in the ship's hospital. She was curious about Velkin biology and wanted to help Nara heal properly. Your bone structure is different from humans, Yuna said, examining Nara's arm. Stronger, but also more flexible. That is why you heal so fast. Velkins evolved on a high-gravity planet, Nara explained. We needed strong bones to survive. That makes sense, Yuna said. Your blood is different too. It carries more oxygen than human blood. Minho watched his friend work. Yuna was not afraid of Nara. She treated her like any other patient. It made Minho feel hopeful. Why do you help me? Nara asked Yuna. Minho has his reasons, but you do not know me. I am a doctor, Yuna said simply. I help anyone who is hurt? That is what doctors do. Even enemies? I do not see enemies, Yuna said. I see people who need healing. Nara was quiet for a long time. When Yuna finished treating her arm, Nara said, Thank you. Both of you, you have given me something I lost in this war. What is that? Minho asked. Hope, Nara said. Hope that not all humans are evil. Hope that maybe peace is possible. What would peace look like? Yuna asked. What would your people want? Safety, Nara said. A place to live and raise families. Access to the trade routes our ancestors used. Respect for our sacred places. That does not sound impossible, Minho said. Humans want the same things. But the leaders on both sides want victory, Nara said. They want to win the war, not end it. Maybe the leaders are wrong, Yuna said. Maybe ordinary people like us need to find another way. That night, Minho could not sleep. He kept thinking about what Yuna had said. Could ordinary people end a war? Could 3 friends hiding in a storage room change the course of history? The next morning, alarms rang through the ship again. But this time, they were different. These were battle alarms. All crew to battle stations, Commander Park's voice echoed through the speakers. Enemy fleet detected. Prepare for combat. Minho ran to the storage room. Nara was already awake, listening to the alarms. It has started, she said quietly. The final battle. Is this the suicide attack you told me about? Minho asked. Yes, Nara said. My people are coming to die. And they will try to kill as many humans as possible before they do. Through the ship's walls, they could hear the sounds of preparation. Soldiers running to their posts, weapons being loaded, engines powering up for battle. I have to do something, Minho said. I cannot just hide here while people die. What can you do? Nara asked. You are not a soldier. You are not a commander. I do not know, Minho said, but I have to try. Nara stood up. She walked to him and put her hand on his shoulder. If you are going to try something impossible, then I will help you. It is too dangerous. If they find you, they will find me anyway, Nara said. The battle will not last long. After it is over, they will search the entire ship. But maybe together we can save some lives. Minho looked into her eyes. He saw the same determination he felt in his own heart. She was right. Hiding would not work anymore. It was time to take a bigger risk. What do you have in mind? He asked. Nara smiled. It was a brave smile, but also a sad one. I am the daughter of the Velkan fleet commander. If I could speak to him, maybe I could convince him to stop the attack. Minho stared at her. You are a commander's daughter? I did not tell you before because I was afraid you would use me as a hostage, Nara said, but now I trust you. The question is, do you trust me? Outside, the ship shook as it prepared for battle. Soon the fighting would begin. Soon many people would die. Minho made his choice. I trust you. Let's go save some lives. 3 days had passed since Minho found Nara in the cargo bay. Every morning he brought her food and water. Every evening he checked on her wounds. The cut on her arm was healing well. She was getting stronger, but Nara was also getting more suspicious. Why do you help me? She asked again. It was the same question every day. She sat on an old blanket in the storage room, watching him with careful eyes. What do you want? Minho set down a tray with hot soup and bread. I told you. You were hungry and hurt. Humans do not help Velkans, Nara said. We are enemies. We kill each other. Not all humans think the same way, Minho said. Not all Velkans either, I hope. Nara was quiet for a moment. She ate the soup slowly. It was her first hot meal in weeks. This is a trap, she said finally. You want information. You want me to tell you about Velkan ships and weapons. If I wanted information, I would have given you to the security team, Minho said. They have ways to make people talk. Then why? Nara asked. Why risk your life for me? Minho sat down on a wooden box. He was tired of this conversation, but he understood her fear. On my planet, we have a saying. Even enemies can be hungry. It means that everyone needs food and water to live. War does not change that. Nara stared at him. You're strange, she said. Maybe, Minho said. But I am not the only one. There are others like me. Humans who are tired of fighting. Humans who want peace. Peace? Nara laughed, but it was not a happy sound. There will be no peace. Too much blood has been spilled. Too much hate. What? Started this war? Minho asked. I mean, really started it. Not what they tell us in the news. Nara stopped eating. She looked at him with surprise. You do not know? I know what human leaders say. Velkans attacked our colonies. Velkans want to destroy us. But I want to know what you think happened. Nara was quiet for a long time. She finished her soup and bread. Finally, she spoke. Your people built a mining station on Keth 7. You did not know it was sacred to us. It was where our ancestors rested. Where we came to remember the dead? Minho frowned. A mining station? That started the war? My people asked you to move it. Your leaders said no. They said we did not own the planet. They said space belonged to everyone. Nara's voice was getting angry. So we sent ships to stop the mining. Your people sent warships to protect it. And then the fighting started, Minho said. Yes, first 1 battle, then 10, then 100. Now it has been 3 years. Nara looked sad. My family lived near Keth 7. The mining station poisoned our water. My little brother got sick. My parents died trying to get medicine. Minho felt a cold feeling in his stomach. I am sorry. Sorry does not bring them back, Nara said. But her voice was softer now. What about your family? Did Velkans kill them? My family is safe on Earth, Minho said. They work in factories, they make things for the war. They think they are helping protect human colonies. Are they? Nara asked. Minho thought about this. I do not know anymore. Maybe both sides are right. Maybe both sides are wrong. War makes everything simple, Nara said. We are good, you are evil. Kill or be killed. But you are not evil, Minho. You are just a person. So are you, Minho said. They sat in silence for a while. It was the first real conversation they had shared. Not just words about food and medicine, but real thoughts and feelings. There is something else, Nara said quietly. The war is almost over. What do you mean? My people are losing. We have fewer ships, fewer soldiers, fewer supplies. Nara looked directly at him. The leaders are planning one last battle, a final attack on your main fleet. Minho felt his heart beat faster. When? Soon? Maybe days? Maybe weeks? Nara's voice was very quiet. It will be a suicide mission. We will try to destroy as many human ships as possible before we die. Why are you telling me this? Because you saved my life, Nara said. Because you are kind. Because maybe you can convince your leaders to offer peace instead of victory. Minho stood up quickly. I have to tell Commander Park. He needs to know about the attack. No! Nara grabbed his arm. If you tell him, he will ask. How you know, then he will find me. But if I do not tell him, thousands of people will die. They will die anyway, Nara said sadly. That is what war does. It kills everyone. Minho pulled away from her. He walked to the door, then stopped. There has to be another way. There is no other way, Nara said. That is what I thought too. But then you found me. You helped me. Maybe there are other ways we have not thought of yet. Minho turned back to her. What do you mean? I do not know, Nara said. But 3 days ago, I was ready to die. Now I am alive because a human chose to help me. Maybe there are other choices we have not seen. A loud alarm suddenly filled the ship. Red lights flashed in the hallway outside. Minho and Nara looked at each other with fear. Security alert. A voice said over the speakers, All crew to stations. Unknown energy readings detected in Cargo Bay 7. Repeat, unknown energy readings in Cargo Bay 7. Minho's blood turned cold. Cargo Bay 7 was right next to their storage room. Security. Teams would search everywhere nearby. They know someone is here, Nara said. She stood up, ready to fight or run. Stay calm, Minho said. I will handle this. How? I do not know yet. Minho moved toward the door. But I will not let them find you. Heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway. Security guards were coming. Minho could hear their voices and their weapons. Minho, Nara said quietly. He turned back to her. Thank you, she said, for everything. If they catch me, I want you to know that you showed me something important. What? That enemies can become friends? That hate can become understanding. That maybe there is hope for peace after all. The footsteps were getting closer. Minho had to make a choice. He could run and save himself. Or he could stay and protect Nara. He looked at her face. She was scared, but she was also brave. She was ready to face whatever came next. We will get through this, Minho said. Together, he opened the door slightly and looked out. Security guards were searching rooms one by one. They would reach the storage room in minutes. Minho closed the door and turned back to Nara. Do you trust me? Yes, she said without hesitation. Then follow me. I have an idea. The footsteps were right outside now. Time was running out. But Minho had learned something important in the past 3 days. Sometimes the best choice was the one that seemed impossible. He was about to find out if that was true. The cargo bay of the New Soul was quiet at 3 in the morning. Minho Lee walked slowly between the tall metal boxes, checking each one with his scanner. The blue light blinked as he moved from box to box. Everything seemed normal. The war had been going on for 3 years now. The humans and the Velkans fought over space routes and planets. Many people had died. Minho was tired of it all. He just wanted to do his job and keep the ship running. As a supply officer, Minho made sure everyone had food, medicine, and weapons. It was not exciting work, but it was important. The ship needed supplies to keep fighting. The soldiers needed bullets. The doctors needed medicine. Everyone needed food. Minho stopped at a large gray box near the back wall. His scanner made a strange sound. He frowned and looked at the small screen. The readings were wrong. The box was supposed to be empty, but something was inside. He put his hand on the box. It felt warm. Empty boxes were always cold in space. Minho looked around the cargo bay. No one else was there. The night shift was small, and most people were sleeping. Minho opened the box slowly. Inside he saw green fabric. Then he saw pale skin. Then he saw a face. A Velkan was hiding in the box. Minho's heart beat fast. He stepped back and almost dropped his scanner. The Velkan was a female. She looked young, maybe his age. Her long black hair was dirty and messy. Her green uniform was torn and bloody. The Velkin opened her eyes. They were dark brown, almost black. She looked at Minho with fear and pain. She tried to move but was too weak. Her lips were dry and cracked. Minho knew he should call security. That was the rule. Any Velkin on the ship was an enemy. They would take her to the prison cells. They would ask her questions. Then they would probably kill her, but she looked so weak. So hungry, so scared. The Velkin tried to speak. Her voice was very quiet. "Please," she said in broken human language. "Water." Minho looked at her for a long moment. She was the enemy. His people were at war with her people. But she was just a person. A person who needed help. He looked around the cargo bay again. Still empty, still quiet. Minho made a choice that would change everything. He closed the box gently. "Wait here," he whispered. "I will help you." The Velkin's eyes opened wide. She did not understand why he was helping her. Minho did not understand either. But he could not watch someone suffer. Minho walked quickly to the medical storage room. He knew where everything was kept. He took a water bottle, some food bars, and basic medicine. He also took bandages and cleaning supplies. His hands shook as he worked. If anyone caught him, he would be in big trouble. Helping the enemy was treason. They would put him in prison. They might even kill him, but Minho could not stop. The Velkin needed help. That was all that mattered right now. He returned to the cargo bay. The Velkin was still in the box, but she was awake. She watched him with those dark eyes. She was ready to fight or run, even though she was weak. "My name is Minho," he said quietly. He opened the water bottle and gave it to her. "Drink slowly." The Velkin took the water with shaking hands. She drank a little, then stopped. She looked at Minho like she did not trust him. "Why?" she asked. Minho did not know how to answer. "You are hungry," he said. "You are hurt." "I have food and medicine." "I am enemy," the Velkin said. Her human words were not perfect, but he understood her. "Right now you are just someone who needs help," Minho said. The Velkin stared at him. She drank more water. Minho gave her a food bar. She ate it very fast, like she had not eaten in days. She probably had not. "What is your name?" Minho asked. The Velkin looked at him for a long time. "Nara," she said finally. "Nara Kim." "How long have you been on this ship, Nara?" 3 days, she said. "Maybe 4. I do not know." "How did you get here?" Nara was quiet. She ate another food bar. "My ship was destroyed," she said. "I was in a small pod. Your ship picked up the pod with other debris. I hid when they brought everything inside." That explained how she got past security. The ship often collected metal and other materials from space battles. The crew did not check every piece carefully. "You are hurt," Minho said. He saw blood on her uniform. Nara nodded. She pulled back her jacket. There was a long cut on her arm. It was not deep, but it was infected. Her skin was hot and red around the cut. Minho cleaned the wound carefully. Nara did not make any sound, but he could see the pain in her eyes. He put medicine on the cut and wrapped it with clean bandages. "Thank you," Nara said quietly. "This place is not safe," Minho said. "Security checks this area every day. They will find you." "I know," Nara said. "I was waiting to get stronger. Then I would try to escape." "Where would you go? We are in deep space." Nara looked sad. "I do not know. Maybe I would steal a small ship. Maybe I would just surrender." Minho thought about this. He could not let her die. But he could not let her escape either. She might tell other Velkins about the ship's defenses. "I know a place," he said. Old storage room. No one uses it anymore. You could hide there." Nara looked surprised. "Why would you help me more?" "I do not know," Minho said honestly, "but I cannot stop now." He helped Nara out of the box. She was weak and had to lean on him. Together they walked slowly through the dark cargo bay. Minho's scanner beeped softly as they moved. The storage room was small and dusty. There were old blankets and broken equipment inside. It was not comfortable, but it was safe. No one came. "Here any more. Rest here," Minho said. I will bring you more food and water tomorrow. Why do you trust me? Nara asked. Why do you trust me? Minho asked back. Nara smiled a little. It was the first time he had seen her smile. I do not have a choice. Neither do I, Minho said. As he walked back to his quarters, Minho wondered what he had done. He was hiding an enemy soldier. He was risking his life and his career. His friends would not understand. His commander would be angry, but when he thought about Nara's hungry face and grateful eyes, he knew he had made the right choice. War was about killing enemies. But sometimes being human was about saving them instead. The next day would bring new challenges. But for now, Nara was safe. And Minho had chosen compassion over duty. It was a choice that would change both their lives forever.